Hello everyone, Tony the Guinea Pig here, and welcome to the Stanley Parable. So, I'm not going to explain a bunch on this because this game is so much fun. And from what I've heard, it's a little bit long, but it's very, very fun. So anyway, I don't want to spoil it too much. I have not played anything on this. I've heard a bunch about it. Oh, this is really cool. The mirror effect down right over here. But anyway, yeah, hope you guys enjoy.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-winning, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Okay, sorry about that. Oh, I can move now. Okay, good. Wow, this is so cool. The music is a teeny bit loud, though. I like the actual keys sound while I'm moving around on the options. Alright, so the music is a tiny bit loud. It might not be on your end, or your guys' end, but it's very loud on my end. It's still very loud. Let me turn this all the way down here. Oh, well, it's somewhat better. I gotta turn the master volume down just a teeny bit. Okay, so E is to...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I'm pretty sure that there's a little bit more going on when there's papers on the floor, and it seems that the printer is out of ink.
No matter
and has
how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
As I was saying before I was rudely interrupted by the narrator, it has cobwebs all over it, or at least scratches or dents and whatnot. And somebody left their coffee. Can't I exactly... Oh, I can crouch! Nice! Alright, so E is to interact. Whoops. Never mind. Can I turn that on? Oh, this is so cool, I can interact with so many things. Can't turn that on. Can't seem to jump. I can crouch.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
I like how that actually came up. Sorry, narrator. I'll be gone in just a second. I hate Monday. Can I open this? No. I like work. I just hate my boss. What does this one say? Can't exactly see that. Okay. Anyway. And they even left the filing cabinets with no file. Well, one file in it. That doesn't open. Does this? Nope. Nope, that one's actually locked. Can I? Whoops. Ah, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Let's see here. No, that doesn't seem to do anything. Hate Mondays again. Was there anything back? What I had heard, or at least I think so. Oh, okay, that's a briefing. Can I open this? No? It seems that there's a way around here.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
On his left, okay. They have automatic doors in this very old office. Okay, then. Briefing room.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
How to solve a dispute with a coworker. I'm gonna start over here. Take it out past it. Okay, never mind. Make sure your slide has a slick blue graphic in the header and throw some bevel on all the text. This will ensure a calm and productive work environment. Everyone is unique. You most of all. I don't see myself there. Number of slides on this slide. Charts, charts and slides, and slides. What do people want? Things, money, more money, things but with money to buy more things, graphs, graphs about things, plus money. We have our new product. The stock market is somewhere here. Colored in segment, stripes, requires more secondary research. Target demographic. To do synchronized core values. There seems to be a word hidden under there. Monetized, free to play. Interesting. Oh, I can't open this.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Well, actually, there's a lot of stuff here, none of which I can use. There's a nice wrench right there.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
I'm still gonna click around. Because there might be secrets. Maybe in this little corner over here.
Baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even
Fine.
doing anything. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Wait, will this door open? No. I'm very impressed with this game so far. Oh, bathroom. Never mind. Let's see. Can I turn this? Oh, it's not even. Ah, I can't even turn the light on. What is this? We got some pencils and pens, glasses.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Couldn't possibly have. 2845, 2845, 2845, 2845. He said hidden behind his desk. I don't see. Oh, duh.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck.
I know.
Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Astonishing. There's a lever. Or no, that's a power box. Never mind. Anything around here? No. Ooh. There is something around here, but it's just a hallway. Nope, nothing. Man, it's loud in here. Big ominous red button that says going down. Oh my goodness, that's so loud. Loading, 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 loading.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Yes, I think that's very, very... that's a very...
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
It's a very good question to be answering when we're asking for that. Okay, escape that way. A long, ominous hallway. Very good question to be asking when there's a gigantic door that says Mind Control Facility. And they have to make it very... Oops. Very obvious for anybody to be seeing. I'm gonna snoop around, or sneak around this camera here. Bye. Oh, it's exactly like Incredibles again. Syndrome's big chair.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
I don't know, maybe the X-Men? Xavier's mind room, I'm not sure, which happens to be a mind control room? Maybe?
Now the monitors jumped to life.
Oh gosh.
Their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Well then. That did nothing, that does nothing, that does nothing. What are these? If only I could zoom in on it. Z to zoom. Whoop, did I do that? Hold up, what's the one fired one? Is that me? It was 429, yeah, employee 429, I think? 429. Nope, that wasn't me.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
But certainly
the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Definitely seems like that there's a bunch of things going on. Can I push the blue button? That does nothing. Can we push? Oh, offline, duh. I'm going to go with the facility power. Just a second. Bloop. No bloopy bloop. Ah! I can't push the big red ominous button that simply says power cutoff. Mind control idle awaiting input. And a bunch of other code on the side. And mind control. No, I could see it just a second ago. Mind control something. Awaiting input. I'm going to turn
when
you.
At last he found the source of the room's power. He knew it was his duty.
Off.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
The end is never the end. The end is never the end. I'm hoping that it goes on just a little bit longer because I was hoping that it was going to be a little bit more than one episode. That was actually pretty funny when the narrator was going on. Oh, yes, he couldn't figure out what to do. Oh, phew. Off button. Alright. Looks like my old office. Yeah, it's the exact same office. Exact same.
All his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Oh.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh. Okay, there's different endings.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Yes, it's beautiful. The rustled papers on the floor, the left coffee cups on the floor.
Yes, really, really worth it being
I know,
here
right?
in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings.
Shush!
Really worth it.
It's totally worth it. Don't judge me. Actually, I don't see any oh, wait, okay. Okay, I couldn't figure out where the paint...
Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
Oh, so you're calling me a creep now, huh? Let me see, what's in here?
Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue, but when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
This game is getting to me. Alright, fine. Wait, I want to just see a minute. Okay, fine.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room, and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
Nope, I'm going this way.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago.
He is so incredibly bad. Warning, do not jump from cargo lift while it is in motion will cause of death. Personality or penalty for misuse of cargo lift, $1,000. Penalty for jumping off the cargo lift, $5,000.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
Yeah.
I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Oh, is that what this...
Stanley? Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
This game is so cool. A quick question, though. What office has a stinking lift in their workroom? Pretty much in their garage, actually. That's right outside of what looked like London. And doesn't go unnoticed. This just seems very, very weird, because I can't even explain it. Anyway, moving on. Into the dark room.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To
No,
reach
I can't
out
do it.
to her. If you can truly oh, no, you can't. Did you just unplug the phone? Well, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person. I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting